This is our economic development plan for the African nation of Rwanda. Rwanda is located in Central Africa, bordering Uganda and the DR of Congo. It is blessed with land that is rich with natural resources such as gold and tin ore, as well as arable land.
The majority of Rwanda is of the ethnic group Hutu, with the rest identifying as Tutsi. The population pyramid is stacked towards the bottom, which is typical for a developing country. The sex ratio is about 1 male per female, and the mother's median age of first birth is 23 years old. Life expectancy of Rwandans is only 60 years, and the median age in Rwanda is 19 years old.
In terms of the economy, Rwanda is almost exclusively agriculturally based, with over 90% of working Rwandans being farmers. Despite their GDP ranking low on the global scale, it is the 15th fastest growing economy in the world at 7.5% annually.
The history of Rwanda is very similar to many of its African neighbors. During the Berlin Conference, Belgium was granted what is current-day Rwanda, and spent much of its time extracting natural resources and enslaving the native population. Rwanda gained independence in 1962. The most horrible and well-known event in its history is the genocide of the Tutsis by the Hutus in the summer of 1994. While the violence had been ongoing for years, it was set off when the airplane of Haile Arimana and the Burundian president Cyprien Tarimira was shot down on April 6, 1994. The following 100 days consisted of ruthless slaughter of 50,000 to 1 million Tutsis. The genocide was reenacted in 2004 film Hotel Rwanda.
Daddy, there are soldiers on the streets.
They're killing everyone. It's a massacre.
The emotional and physical damage that resulted from the genocide was unbelievable, but there was also irreversible harm to the economy. There were about 2 million refugees that needed to be reintegrated into the economy. Additionally, Rwanda tried to give a trial to thousands of suspects of the genocide, which was very costly for an already poor nation. The final issue was war rape. The social isolation that resulted for thousands of girls and women cost the workforce dearly.
Our economic plan consists of 5 parts. Our short-term goals will be to invest in higher education, set up a system where private sector can lead the way, and pass legislation to ensure gender equality. Our long-term goals are to establish a minimum wage and social safety nets. And we also plan to fund research that will lead to a more efficient agricultural sector.
Rwanda lags behind the developed world because its main industries are outdated. By investing 45% of our disposable funds into higher education, we are improving technological and advanced industrial sectors that are necessary to compete against foreign industries. This is something that we'd like to implement as soon as possible, but it would be a long-term investment. While this would put us in debt initially, it would pay itself back and more once the resulting entrepreneurship and innovation stimulates the domestic economy.
The only way that Rwanda will accomplish the status of developed country is by transitioning the economic power and dependence onto the private sector. But the government needs to help set up a system where private companies can set up shop and thrive. This can be done by spending 55% of our funds on new and improved means of transportation, power lines, and other ways to improve access to the internet. The final part of this step is to pass a set of patent laws that will encourage innovation.
Women are the least utilized group of people within the developing world. Sticking half of the population in the home where they cannot contribute to the local economy is detrimental. Therefore, the next part of our 5-step plan will be passing legislation to ensure gender equality. By empowering women financially, we are hoping that this will improve the workforce and result in an increase in economic production. Also, by decreasing sexual violence and domestic abuse, we aspire to improve the productivity of the thousands of women in Rwanda.
The successful implementation of these 3 short-term will undoubtedly raise the quality of life for thousands of Rwandans. This increase in per capita income will expand the tax base, which will open up the options for the federal government. The first step we would like to take in the long term is to pass a minimum wage and social safety nets, such as Social Security and subsidized housing and education. These things are crucial to maintain a healthy middle class and keep our plan sustainable.
We realize that agriculture will still play a huge part in Rwanda's economy, and therefore the final part of our plan will be using some of our newfound tax revenue to invest in research that will improve the efficiency of crop yields. The majority of this research will be aimed at finding new and improved farming techniques, as well as creating ways to avoid destruction from natural disasters. The ethnic conflict and other social issues that have derailed Rwanda will be mostly cured by financial support that our plan will provide. These steps will help Rwanda in their quest to thrive economically and become a developed nation.